It's Yours Radio, Live 97.5, Everything Urban Breakfast Club in the morning. Brian Banks tonight, Donni-Oh, J-Mo.
Yes, indeed. Special guest. Who we got, Donni-Oh?
We have a lady who's saying, when you hear this right here, you already know that it'll take you right back to the 90s, baby.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? When it was all real. And we were talking, man, the 90s was a special era. It's like the golden era of hip-hop, but also R&B when it merged hip-hop and R&B. You had Mary J. Blige and Vogue, Soul to Soul, you know, in the late 80s, early 90s. You had a New Jack Swing, but then it started to move a little more towards that hip-hop soul.
Facts.
Monifah was right in the midst of it, baby.
You gotta believe it.
Yes, indeed. Miss Monifah, how you doing, baby?
I'm wonderful. How you doing? I mean, all I'm doing is I'm in a very melancholy state. At first the first thing I want to say is my prayers and my thoughts are with the Bryant family. This is the most devastating thing that I've experienced like this in my adult life. Like, you know, see, like as far as tragedy to somebody that, you know, we have reverence for, admire, and, you know, cultural icon, basically. And at the end of the day, just a person, a family man who was loved by his family, and they'll be missed. It's one of those days. It's actually made me, you know, really reflective. So that's where I'm at. I'm okay, and I feel blessed, and I'm grateful, and I'm walking in that today, and going forward on purpose. Because we forget, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And we're with you, sweetheart, because we did almost an hour dedicated to Kobe, and I'm a huge Laker fan. Been since '79, so you know it's
right.
Yeah, and I was one of my I was the public relations manager for Mike Harris, Best Sports Entertainment in Philly, and he actually started Kobe Bryant's fan club back in '96 when Kobe was a rookie, and he also was the one who orchestrated Kobe and Brandy's when Kobe went on his prom date with Brandy. He put that together. I made some college, and a real good friend of mine. So I talked to him just to get confirmation. You know, you hear things on social media, and you know the fake news. And we talked about this earlier. You know, we heard the Bill Cosby pass and Eddie Murphy and all those things that they throw on Facebook. So, and when I saw that about Kobe, I'm like, it's one of them again. And I started seeing more and more posts. And then I started seeing them from some credible news sources, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, hold on. Let me call my man to make sure this is real." And sure enough, it was. And like you said, man, Kobe was more than just a basketball player. I mean, he was a philanthropist. He was he did great. He was doing great things with a lot of the younger guys coming into the league and help groom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, help grooming them.
Things we don't know exactly. I'm privy to. I have, you know, friends in the organizations, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff, people aren't privy to how much he gave back, you know, as far as the sport, and, you know, taking mentees under his wing, and just like, man. You know, just honoring him, and, you know, still smiling because he was super dope. He actually was super dope.
Definitely. And it was, and as a fan, it was still good to see him around the game. You know, a lot of times when players retire, they kind of play the back because, you know, you play 20 years in the league. It's like, I had enough of it. I'm gonna play the back now and just chill. But he say he's still involved. You still see him at the Laker games, front row. Just a couple of weeks ago, you saw him and LeBron James dap it up. You know, it was just beautiful to see. You know, kind of like the torch being passed, and then of course last night LeBron passing Kobe for the third all-time leading scorer, and even LeBron had a shout out for Kobe on his shoes. You know, he had Mamba shoes and number 8, number 24, and then what happens today, and then his daughter, and it's just
it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so much to digest. It's like, oh my God, but nothing. It can't be any more than, you know, it ain't nothing compared to what his wife and his other, you know, children are experiencing. And the first thing I did, for me, when people pass away, like even with Hev, you know, his passing, immediately, because I lost my dad very young and I was close to him, immediately, if they have children, the first thing I do is just, wherever I am, I'm praying. If I could drop on my knees and pray, say a prayer, that's what I do, because I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
You know, there's law, you know, parental loss, especially when you have a close relationship, or whatever. I mean, that's a lot, especially being a kid, and my heart just breaks for them. And I'm just going to continue to keep them lifted, you know, and he will be remembered, of course.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So I just, you know, when you said that, I didn't want to make it an empty, I'm good, you know, because that would be a lie.
Yeah.
I'm reflecting, and I'm reminded, because I was going to do this IG post, and I did post it, but it changed the energy of it, still in the space of keeping it, you know, life is life. People do pass, you know, that is a definite.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's different ways, it's always shocking when it happens so tragically.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is it's designed for the people that witness or experience it to really take stock of where they are in their own walk in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on a personal level, not, you know, just what am I doing? Like, okay, you know, and these kind of things, you know, I'm sure so many transitions might come out of this.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like people taking stock and shifting the whole paradigm of their lives. If it's not, you know, something if they're not doing things or living in a way that's going to serve their spirit. And, you know, it's just, you know, I had a very interesting day, and for me to come from a service and then getting some confirmations about things in my own life, and making some, you know, knowing that I'm on the right path for me, getting those confirmations, and then making, you know, a declaration to myself, like, okay, so this is how I'm moving forward. And then when I came home, that's when I got the news, and it was like, yo, it just kind of fell in line, because it was all about gratitude, perspective, and moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Moment. You don't know. We never know if we're going to have another moment beyond the moment we're in.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to live like that every moment, every day.
Mm-hmm.
We take a lot for granted. We're human. We're living. We're moving. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, if you could keep the same energy when you hear something this devastating or heartbreaking, if you could take the fervor of what that makes you feel like when you hold your kids a little tighter that day, hug your wife, I love you, husband, whatever, your mom, whatever. If you could keep a little bit of that every day past that in your life, it can make a big difference.
Yeah.
You know, how you treat yourself and the people that you love.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never feel no way, except for just probably heartbroken when you lose people. You know that you've done all you can, and they know you love them. You know, so you know, it's just a heavy day. That's all. But I'm a life celebrator, and we're gonna take this up. And you know, life is to be lived and celebrated and respected. That's it.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on with this interview in a very light fashion.
Right. But you know, what I really love about you with the realness from the beginning.
Baby, wait, John, sweetheart, you did something, and now you're really like muffled. Like when you first came on, it was crystal clear, and then something made it sound muffled for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want to. I'm trying to understand. You just want to let you know if I say, could you repeat that? It's because of that.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I have to turn my phone down because it sounds like staticky a little bit, but I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. What I was saying is, I like the fact that I asked how are you, and you immediately said, not as great as I would like to be, basically, and because of the circumstances. And J-Mo and I talked about earlier how sometimes we feel those who are on the outside and those who we have a lot of people who want to get into the music industry, and we have independent artists that come on the show, and a lot of them think money and fame heals all ills, and you're immune to the different things that goes on in life, including death. And to hear you, one of the legends of R&B and music in general, to hear that, okay, this situation with Kobe and his daughter really touched you, and it's brought it shows that you have a heart, and that it touched you in a certain way, that it affected you, to show that money doesn't
it could never protect you from what's going to happen.
Exactly, it doesn't protect you from life. Yeah, so that just shows the human side of, a lot of times we look at celebrities and artists, and whether it be any type of entertainment, we look at them like robots, like they just run and they
like they serve us.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're supposed to be this, it's like an enigma, and they're supposed to be perfect, and we put too much stock in other people's we put more stock in other people's lives than we do our own, especially when it comes to well-known people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be very, very conscious of that.
Right.
You're more, probably may have more compassion for somebody that you don't personally know than you may have for your own kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Like, it may not be on purpose sometimes, but I think it's kind of like this fantasy. It's weird. It's really, 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 it's interesting, actually, what psychologically and socially we do in those instances, because it becomes a transfer. We be like, people like myself, depending on whoever likes you or puts you in reverence, because it happens to pastors and people in leadership positions, or a position that's revered as better than, or something to aspire to. You know what I'm saying? So, it happens there too. It's like, people are human, period. And not because you're good and great in one thing, and because you're out there, doesn't mean that you're not susceptible to the same stuff. And it doesn't make you any better or make you any more safe from life's trials and tribulations. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And there's a weird covering over, that when it comes to people that are known, well known, or for something, and it's just interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel everything that you just said.
No doubt.
Yeah. So we want to get into again, our show is really tailored to the 90s. We're heavy in the 90s, but we play some newer stuff too. But more like when it comes to R&B, more like on the R&B soul. Some would say neo soul. I know a lot of neo soul artists don't like that term. But we get into a lot of that. I was telling J-Ma, I just heard that new Vivian Green last night. The joint was fire.
Yeah.
Wow, I love what she's done recently. Yeah, man, I'm a fan. I've been a fan since our first project, Real Talk. She's super dope, and I haven't heard the new stuff yet. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. That's nice to hear.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
Always nice to hear. Yeah.
Like nice little up tempo dance type joint, but still had that little soulful feeling to it though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Right.
It was real dope.
That's what she is.
Yeah, definitely. So let's take it back, Monifah. Let's take it back to Uptown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get on Uptown?
Well, I was signed to a production deal. I was in a group. Wendy Creedle was an A&R over at MCA, and she was putting together a girl group, and it was 5. She was auditioning for 5 people, for 5 women, and I auditioned for her through my management at the time. Like, there was this guy, his name was Willie Kitchen. I wonder where Willie Kitchen is now. I have never seen him after that. And,
wow.
People sometimes are just connectors, and it's just, that's it. I got the gig, and it was myself and 4 other women, and one included Marie Wright, better known as Freak. And
who's
been my friend, sister my sister friend since that time. And was doing some records for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I I knew him socially. He's from Mount Vernon, I'm from Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew him socially, but not professionally, So when he was doing the record for us, I was like, one night I had hung out and stuff, and I was hungover and I was late to the session and stuff. And I was a party.
He was
I was a party girl. And I was late to the session, and he was so irritated. He was like, "Yo, I wanted to sing lead on this song, and I came. My voice sounded like this because I was out, partying all night."
No doubt.
And so he had Dio run me around the block. I had to go downstairs and run around the block.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came and did the thing. So he was at that. I know this is. I'm trying to hurry up. So that day he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna want you to do some reference, vocals for me." And I was like, "Cool." He was like, "Get paid or whatever." And I was like, "Perfect. That's fine. Absolutely." So we exchanged numbers, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was waiting for him to call. He didn't call. Christmas time is coming. I think it was like December 23rd. I called him. I was like, "Yo, what happened?" I thought, He was like, "Oh, my bad. Been, traveling, working, blah blah blah."
Right.
And I just, I'm actually in the studio now. Matter of fact, you should come through tomorrow. Can you come through?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." Ow. So I get there, and a little late. I get there and I do this song called "It's All Right" for this young kid that they were gonna sign to Uptown, young boy.
Okay.
So I did the reference vocal called "It's All Right" for this kid. So I'm doing the thing, finished the song, and he's sitting I'm in the booth. We have Sound Factory. So
Okay.
he's got his legs up. He's with like a business office chair. The chairs they have.
Yeah.
Studio about what you call the console. So he had his feet on the he had his legs up on the console corner, so he's laid back. So I'm looking at him, and I'm like, "Okay, so what are you doing?" Because he's just kind of thinking. He looks like he's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "So what's up?" And he's like, "You know what?" He's like, "I'm gonna let you keep this record." And I was like, in my mind, I was like, "Oh, okay."
Right.
I'm like, "Okay, cool." In my mind, I'm like, "Oh, I got a professionally done demo.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome." So I was like, "So I'm good." He was like, he said, "Yo, you need to come back tomorrow. We're gonna start your album."
Word. What?
I was like, "What?" I was like, "Stop playing."
Right.
I said, "Stop playing all the time." Like he was like, "Listen, be here tomorrow on time, and we're gonna start your album."
Wow.
And I was like, "Okay." Next thing I know, I'm signing the deal to Uptown Records.
Wow.
And as far as I remember, I'm probably one of the last artists, if not the last artist, to be signed to Uptown.
Yeah, because that was what, like around 96, 97, something like that, maybe?
It was 95.
95, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure was.
Yeah, because now by then, Puff had left by then, because he had Bad Boy.
Oh, yeah, he was gone.
Yeah, he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, even Mary was gone at that point.
Right.
She was over, Mm-hmm.
Was Andre still there? Was Andre
she wasn't
still there?
gone yet?
Andre Harrell, was he still there?
What happened?
Well, Andre, was he there? Andre Harrell?
Oh, yeah. He's the one that was like, "We're going to be the Black Madonna." And it was hilarious. That meeting, when he met me, that was so funny. Because, oh, my God, it was hilarious. I was like, oh, my God. Like, this is what's happening.
That just brings back memories now, huh?
This is Andre. Like, it was hilarious. And, but had took me under his wing. He was a consummate professional. We became very close. And he was like, he taught me a lot. And he was like my dad, my brother, and boyfriend and husband all rolled into one. He could be any of those on any given day with his attitude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was very protective of me. And I would wear him out, like real talk. I would wear him out because I'm just, I'm free-spirited by nature. And, and hard. Like, I was young, I was young, and really not as focused on the business side of things as I could have been. And, with a lot of it was he had an incredible work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that I do, and I as well, but it was different. He had, I should have been paying more attention because he was an amazing artist who had done a lot at that point. And yeah, he's dope. And it was just really, 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 it really sucked that we couldn't, go one more round because that was my plan.
Mm-hmm.
I had spoken to Heavy about 5 months before he passed.
Mm-hmm.
And, threw that around because when we parted ways, it wasn't not amicable, but it was very abrupt.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to work with other producers on the second project, which I thought was not, asking a tall order, right? I'm like, well, you could do half of the album and I'll do, but I work with some other producers for the other half.
That was the Mahogany
that
joint?
Must have,
Was that the Mahogany album?
The Mahogany album.
Yeah, the second one. Okay, all right.
Yes, the second album. And he took the songs back that we did.
Wow.
And I ended up doing the project myself and, picking the producers I wanted to work with. And I did that album and, it was a reflection of me.
Mm-hmm.
Although it felt, I didn't like having to do it without him, but there was an indignation that I had. How could you do that to me? Like, what, why would you even, that, it just felt, I think we both felt, like a loyalty was broken. I felt like he abandoned me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he felt like I was being disloyal, and that was the furthest thing from my mind.
Right.
I felt like I'm an artist. Like, why would I just, and I understand more now. And I think that there was an emotional immaturity that we both, possessed.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't, and we weren't willing to be vulnerable to really sit down and talk about it in that moment. So it carried out. It was no bad blood, but it was just like that. That's how it ended so nebulously. It was weird.
Yeah.
And we would see each other, but it was
the same.
Actually very strange.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know probably as someone. So Heavy D has some roots down here where we at down out on the DMV in Maryland. I actually went to school with his brother Floyd in college, and also with his cousin Grap Lover.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Pete Rock's brother. He was actually
right.
We would live across the hall from each other in the dorm. So I used to always get. We're talking like 89, 90, 91. And I used to get a lot of the exclusive Pete Rock produced joints from different people. This is even before Pete Rock could sell smooth. You know what I'm saying? So, I would get a lot of exclusive joints, and I would get some Heavy D joints that wasn't, some unreleased Heavy D joints. So, yeah, we definitely knew Hev's talent, and his, like you said, man, he was just impeccable when it came to, getting music done and being professional about it and the whole nine. Just real quick. You did some acting too, right?
Me, yes.
Yeah.
I got into this business at 7 years old. I've been a professional singer. I wasn't recording, but I did commercials and theater. So it's been a long time. And when I started my recording career, it was because of Hev.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing this a long time. Yes, I act. And I'm actually currently writing my one show right now. I'm in the middle of that. And I did a lot of plays. I did Jakarius Johnson's first play, Men Cry in the Dark, which was based off of Michael Basin's first book.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to work with, people that I knew a long time, Alan Payne, Christopher Williams, and then some amazing, people. And Richard Roundtree and Legend. So my first play, I worked with an iconic person in his craft. Richard Roundtree. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on,
man.
I was like, what I'm talking about.
Right.
And that started, because I almost didn't do that because I consider myself an elitist, so to speak, artistically. And although I, I thought what kind of play is this? I turned it down at first because I didn't have all the information. When my manager brought it to me,
But you thought it was
I
a
was
hood?
like,
You thought it was a hood play?
you know, I had to. What was that dude's name? Shelly. I forgot the playwright's name, but he was very successful. But he did all of those. Oh Jesus, let me, please lead the way. The inspirational plays. And it could be a little, to me, a little buffoonish.
This was before Tyler Perry.
Huh?
It was before Tyler Perry.
You said that I worked with Tyler Perry?
No, I said Shelly. He was before Tyler Perry doing those plays.
Oh yeah, he was the Tyler Perry of. Yes, he was somebody. He was absolutely somebody. Tyler probably looked up to.
Shelly Garrett.
Aspired to be.
Shelly Garrett.
Shelly Garrett. Yes, Shelly Garrett.
Yeah.
And so I mean, not being an idiot or an ass. Excuse me. But I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I ain't doing these hood.
I ain't doing these hood plays.
Do that.
Right.
And he was like, okay, hung up the phone. I get a call right back. Yo, Mom. He was like, he was like, are you sure? Because it was like, it was like $4K a week, and he was like, are you kidding me? Like, seriously? And I was like, well, what is the show about? And he was like, it's called Men Cry in the Dark. I was like, what? He was like, it's based on Michael. First of all, I love that book.
Right.
And my favorite character in the book is who they needed me to play or was asking me to play.
Wow.
So, yeah, sometimes God be like, he gives you one more shot. Like, let me run this by. Let me double back on this clown.
Right.
Let me do what they need to do.
She being all uppity. Let me get her right.
Yeah, like, and without even asking, I made an assumption.
Right.
So I learned a nice little lesson there. But, that's where I started. And then I started doing other shows. And then, the Chitlin circuit, as they call it, evolved into something, of a different caliber. You had more, had levels. And, that, fed me for a while, along with Touch It, because I was eating for a few years after that single came out. Well, after Mojave came out, because they didn't do a single. They released it. They pushed the album with that single. So, yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like now going from that, shifting gears from plays to being on the small screen? What was it like being in with the R&B Divas and being in amongst you and so many other incredible artists, who your peers? What was that like?
That was amazing. And I was really, Nikki and I were really cool. I had worked with her a lot and her, with her grandchildren, because she's very creative. She's like a vision. Always has vision. There's a lot of vision. And when, we did Soul Kittens Cabaret, and it was an amazing project, and R&B Divas was birthed from that, what she wanted to do production-wise with that show. And I worked with, it was Selena, myself, Angie Stone on Soul Kittens Cabaret, Trinice Cobbins, and Tatiana Ali, and a host of other talented, amazing women. And they did that project, and they gave her the idea to do a documentary-style show with, R&B singers that have a story to tell, because, we lived in it. There was a lot of shadows coming up in that time. It was a lot different than it is for the artists today. And, we had gone through some stuff, and she felt like we had stories to tell, and we did. And it ended up being, it's Selena, we were always down, and it ended up being who it was supposed to be. And so it was myself, Nikki, Faith, Kiki, and Selena. And I call us to start at 5, And it was a beautiful experience. I learned a lot about myself. And I was able to share my truths and walk, and tell my own story. And then be around women that get it, that got it. There was a level of commonality there. We understood each other. On a level that I don't think other people could, just that one more It's that space where people just don't get. But I know if I say something about such and such, Selena gonna feel me.
Right.
You know, or if I'm in a space about something, I could talk and get it because they get it.
Mm-hmm.
We walk the same road, different shoes, but same path.
Mm-hmm.
So to speak.
Yeah. What do you see that's different today? I mean, we were talking. We're going back to '95. So from '95 to what? 2020. So what? 25 years. What have you seen?
Yeah.
From '95 to now? The evolution of music.
Music is always going to evolve. What doesn't evolve are the people that are in control of the music business and telling people what is good or acceptable and what is not. So what I like about how the music business has evolved is that artists or performers, because everybody's not an artist, I don't believe that.
Right.
There's some people are talented, and then they're artists.
Right.
But just for the sake of artists, people that have talent and want to sing, share their music. I just think it's great that now we're able entrepreneurial in the way our gift is put out there. How it's served up, and we can live and die by our own sword. We take the chances and we reap the benefits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily have to be confined by somebody that doesn't believe in something that you're putting. And it's like, oh, we can't do any more of that. We need something more like something that's already done.
Yeah.
But Shorty's already out there.
Right.
We don't need another Shorty. Need me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what's missing.
Uh-huh.
And so the fact that I can go straight to my supporting family, my friend, because I call them my friends.
Right.
I can go straight to them now. That's the beautiful thing. It did take a lot of getting used to, because, oh my God, how spoiled were the 90s of it.
Right.
How spoiled were we? Like, you know what I'm saying? As, we had, oh my God, we didn't have to think. We didn't have to think about anything. And, I give a lot of kudos to the execs that came up in that time, Janae, Tuck, Damon, and Missy, and so many, because they handled their business. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Even if it wasn't, they hired somebody that was going to hold their hand. They were going to know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And they handled their business and made a claim and an undeniable, started an undeniable legacy of for us in the music business. And so I always, like tip my hat, to the execs, the black execs, Sylvia Rohn, all those cats, but the difference is, that's the difference. The other difference is if anybody could, everybody has something. But what they don't, the exclusivity of it, and not in the way of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not in isolating or trying to keep people out, but everybody, again, is not necessarily an artist.
Definitely.
I would agree. Definitely.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know, like between, okay, so I don't even want to call names, but to me, Lizzo is an artist.
I would agree.
If you want to say, like, if you want to compare, like, who is her, who would you compare her to?
Right.
To me, she's this generation's Miss.
Absolutely.
That's what I think. I think she came with something fresh.
Yeah.
She's in her skin, and she's talented. You know what I'm saying? She plays the flute. She can sing. She's, she could dance. Like, she's a performer. It reminds me if I had to, do like, who is, if they did that thing, like, who is this generation so-and-so, I would recognize her as a true artist. I don't know who else, like, and I'm not talking about people that are still in my age group that, came out after me, like Jill Scott, Anthony Hamilton. We all came up, like, me and Anthony came up together. You got so many artists that are artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of artists like there were when I was coming up.
No.
There's people that put stuff out that sound good.
Yeah.
Or not.
It's a lot of knots now, for real.
Indeed. And that's on one hand, and
saturation.
That's it. Going back to what you were saying with the R&B divas and you ladies, you ladies y'all laid the groundwork for artists for today. Okay, just like they were artists who laid the groundwork for you. Like we talk about the evolution, and there's always those who came before us laying the groundwork for the next generation.
Right.
So with that being said, you, on the one hand, it's great because you were talking about the control. The artists now have control. They, we have Spotify and all these different streaming outlets, and people sell on their own websites and streaming. So they basically today you can cut out the middleman, which is
right,
great.
Right.
That's great. But on the other hand, I feel like a lot of these artists today are handicapped, where back in the day you had A&R, you had artists in development on these labels that helped develop these. They just throw them out there because they were not just because they had, I don't know, 5 million followers. So now all of a sudden they hot, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it's not really not about the talent or the artistry, as we talked about. It's about, who got the wave and who got the look, and you know what I'm saying? So
and who has the most followers, because that translates into dollars for corporations. It's the new advertisement. It's very interesting how that happens too. So it does put us in a handicap, I believe. If you don't have a crap load of money, you can do it, but obviously you can do it. There's a lot of people doing their own thing. Another thing is that you have to be comfortable and understand what success means to you. Because if you're looking for it to be platinum, you know what I'm saying? If that is what you're gauging success for you in this day and age, you're gonna be disappointed. You're gonna be very disappointed. Success is doing what you love and being able to feed your family, comfortable and travel. That, to me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's, to me, for me, that is what it is. And be able to do the things that I love to do and reach people and use my gift the way, Spirit wants me to use my gift. To pour back out, into the world. So it's great when big people hit, and I be so happy when certain people win, yo. I be so happy. You know what I'm saying? Like I was thinking today, and I was thinking about the Divas today, and I was just like, yo, I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of myself. They was honored at a brunch, and I forgot whose brunch it was. His name is escaping me. She got honored, and I'm looking at her, and I'm just like, yo, we're doing this. Selena, killing the game. She got the show she's the host on, and she's doing her part, and always been a go-getter, always put out her music and didn't stop. You know what I'm saying? I always admired her for that. She kept doing what she was doing because she knew that's what she was supposed to be doing. Putting this woman album out.
Reinventing herself.
And keep doing what and continuing to evolve. And I was just like, I'm still going to do it, but it kind of got derailed by the news, and so it's shifted into something else. But it made me think about them and made me think about myself and how proud I am of me. The long way I've come, and I'm just like, yo, we're doing this, and Nikki, and just doing what we love to do, and keeping it pushing. and that being enough. You know, yeah, because success is my success, and you can't measure my success.
Yeah,
Nobody
exactly.
can. Nobody can measure yours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they try. They try.
Yeah,
they'll try to make you feel bad, and you know, I've sat. You know, it handicapped me for a long time. Because first of all, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. You know, and I didn't just, you know, I was a part of my career. Nobody dressed me, just clothes on me, always has style. I'm freaking fabulous that way. A lot of gifts, a lot of talent, and I was able to do a lot creatively because of all of that. And I was in my own lane as far as you know, how I presented. You know what I mean? And I just, you know, it handicapped me. Like, if I can't do it right, I'm not gonna do it. I need, you know, like that's where I was for a long time. You know, because it took me a long time to withdraw from the machine, you know, and not having the machine. And so that's why it's been so long since I put out a full project. Alongside of life happening. You know, when life just happened, I had a lot of lessons to learn. And I had a lot more important stuff to deal with.
Did you ever get to a point where you like, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore?
Not meaning it.
Right.
Not when I'm in, no, not, you know, I was mad.
Just frustrated. Yeah, just frustrated with everything.
Yeah, frustration. Yeah. But what I realized with the frustration wasn't about nothing external. It was all about me.
Yeah.
And I had to grow up in a way. I had to take responsibility for every situation I found myself in, or take responsibility for what I feel I didn't have that I was supposed to have. No, but that's not anybody else's job. Those are the lessons I had to get. I had to grow up, real talk. And, you know, I was doing a lot of things to escape that accountability and responsibility and pain and all of the things that, you know, just trying to keep it moving so you don't got to think about certain things. And I wasn't taking care of myself at all. So, you know, thank God, like, because it could be so different for me and my family. I don't have to be sitting here talking to you. So many, you know, David seen and listening. And I know the David that I saw that I'm breathing right now. I'm very clear. It could have been a lot different. And when I changed, you know, when I decided that I was worthy of my love.
Well,
and yeah.
Thank God for change. Thank God for growth. You know?
Yeah, man. That joint is hard. I'm a cusser, so I'm really, I'm like, ooh, let me, you know, it's hard. It's hard if you know, you can't really, no, you can half-ass it, but you know, it won't serve you. And I'm, you know, proud of myself for doing some real serious work, some hard work. Really looking in the mirror like you're super whack right now. Get your life together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And being able to say, yeah, that was on me. You know what I'm saying? You can't, you got to take it. To heal it, you got to take responsibility for your part. You can't, you know, blame other people in situations.
So, Mo, take us to how you met my brother, Gary Groove, and how he became your MD.
Oh, my God, Gary.
My God, that's my brother for sure. You know?
No. Gary, whom he's my brother, and he's come to be my brother. And I met him through J-Rone. J-Rone is an amazing artist that won the first and last season of Duets. It was a competition show where people would sing together. Like they paired you up with different artists. John Legend was one of the judges. You may not remember, but I met, you know, that's how I met Gary, because I was singing. He did a show, and Gary and the band were, you know, backing him. And it was at Joe's Pub in New York, and he was doing a duet set. So he had different, you know, artists that he loved, and he asked me to do it, and that's how I met Gary. And then I was like, yo, you dope as heck. You know what I'm saying? So if you go on YouTube and you put in J-Rome, Monifah, I forgot the song we sang. It was a Whitney. It was a Whitney cover. I Believe in You and Me.
Okay.
We sang that. And the way, first of all, that was nothing but, that was nothing but divinity, because we were all on fire. That, like, when I see that, it just, every time I watch it, it's like, yo, there's nothing else. I'll never be doing any, I'll never not sing. But like, I'm like, this is why I'm here. This is how, the other things are going to manifest. This is it. We were so on fire, and we got real cool. And I was like, yo, you guys got to work with me. I was like, this. And so that's how Gary became my MC.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's my guy, Gary.
Yeah. You need to look at that joint. Under the sound of my voice, you go to YouTube and you put in J-Rome, spelled J''ROME, J-Rome Monifah at Joe. Oh my God. And I'm saying that it ain't about cockiness. It's about I know the gift that God gave me, and it got better. It got better when I moved out my way and started to take care of me. And it's just like it's really coming from a place of gratitude and grace, and understanding that I have grace all over my life. And so when I look at it, it's like it's not even me. It's like, God, look what God done.
Right.
Like, what I'm saying?
I know the last time I experienced your performance, we were down at Blues Alley in DC, and man, I mean, like, you played, you did a rendition of Purple Rain, and I mean, it was out of this world,
Stop
Mo.
playing.
Out of this world.
So much.
Out of this world. I mean, I'm talking. I'm standing out of my seat like, whoa, this is like,
and Prince
crazy.
is my guy.
Yeah.
So,
So
wow.
Whoever's listening, if you've never heard Monifah sing Purple Rain, you in for a treat. Believe it.
Wow. Is that on YouTube? Is that clip on YouTube?
I don't know if that particular one is.
Is that on YouTube, Monifah?
I was at the live show.
What you say, sweetheart?
Do you have that clip on YouTube doing a rendition of Purple Rain?
You breaking up, sweetie. I'm so sorry. I don't mean that. I really want to hear what you're saying correctly.
Yeah. Do you have a that rendition you did of Purple Rain? Is that on YouTube?
There are some. There are a few.
Okay.
If you punch it in, they'll come up. Yeah.
All right.
It's not that one though. I never posted that.
Okay.
We didn't post that.
But
there's one. Yeah, that I've done. I got some cool ones out there. Of things that I've done and people take them and put them up. But Prince is one of the people that is influenced me. Luther. A lot of males too. Teddy Pendergrass, like, it's interesting.
Oh, okay.
But Tina Marie is that's my girl. Like, she raised me, in my formative years. I think a lot of my life, I told her when I met her, I was like, yo, messed me up, man. Like, I was trying to live your lyrics, man. Like, I was too young to be trying to live your lyrics. Like, she's so, like, she was an amazing writer.
Uh-huh.
Like, she was brilliant, yo. She was brilliant.
Yeah.
She was an incredible musician. I consider her to be a musical genius.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Underrated than a mug.
Definitely underrated.
She wrote and sang her face off. You hear what I'm telling you?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Played a few instruments and was an amazing composer.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. The other thing that I think is, I know coming up, I just think that just period, it has nothing to do with just the art or just the music, but across the board in this during any time, these millennials, I can't. There's a lot of things that
I can hear it in your voice.
I'm like, yo, it's like grow some scrotums.
Right.
Okay. Like mad sensitive. Like, I don't know if y'all saw that Aries Spears, the comedian.
Oh yeah.
If y'all go on his IGTV, I was in tears because he said everything I felt.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like the there's such an arrogance, and it's like you can't break a toenail and survive.
Right.
Like, please, like, are you kidding me? And they're disrespectful.
Yeah,
right.
Very
disrespectful.
Very
Absolutely.
disrespectful.
Oh my gosh.
A sense of entitlement too.
No doubt. I work with a lot of these new millennial artists, and that's one of the things that I have noticed versus I don't want to say back in the day artists, but they're very, very disrespectful. They're disrespectful to the road manager, production manager, MD, you name it.
I know that.
Right.
Because we respected the shoulders we stand.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? That we did. And we were having fun. Like these
right.
kids ain't having no fun.
Yeah.
No.
Well, because
they
I was just about to say.
Like, even, I'm not all of them, but it's like, I mean, I'm not saying, it's like this weird, like foggy, it doesn't look like anyone's having any fun. The 90s was fun.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? That 80s, 90s, that era of music was fun.
Absolutely.
Nothing but fun.
Yeah.
We were having fun. People collabed. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was acting like it was the Last Supper. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's like a chore now. They treat it like a chore, as opposed to, like you said, the love of it. We running short on time, but we want to get what are you doing now? I know you got something you're working on now, right?
Yeah, I'm in a show on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime called Hustlers. Not Hustlers, excuse me. So how you gonna kill me, Lord? I can't think.
I stay on Amazon. I stay on Amazon Prime.
Wait a minute.
Check that out tonight.
Let me tell you something. I will be 48 on Tuesday. This might be TMI, but my hormones are doing something to my brain. I'm very forgetful. Like, it's hard for me to call Nate. Like the words that I know, those names, if they escape me. I'm going through my own stuff over
join the club.
Listen,
join the club. I'm 48 myself, so join the club. I feel you. I feel the pain.
It's a little. Y'all go through it a little different, but yeah, it's been a very interesting 2 years for me. But it's hold on, got it. Ooh, let me just press this one. Huh? You want to show us how like real fast? And I'm gonna just go on Instagram real fast.
Okay.
You dope, and you do a lot when you can't remember the show that you on. You know what I'm saying?
It's not from being ungrateful and taking anything for granted. Oh my God, and then I did it a while ago. Wow. Okay. I feel like a cornball. I feel real cornball. Oh shoot. Oh my gosh. Because
I want to go check it out tonight.
And it starts with an S. What's that word that starts with an S? Shout out to Philip Penza and Little Book Films.
I know a four-letter word that starts with S. We can't say that though.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Here you go.
All right, here we go. Countdown.
I love you.
Let me get a drum. Let me give you a drum.
What the? Scrutiny!
There it is.
What is it?
Scrutiny. It is an episodic. It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
It went to Vimeo, then Amazon, and then it was upgraded to Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And we're on the Dish Network as well.
All right, dope.
So and I'm doing my 4th studio project, and it has been a labor for over the course of years that you have. When you first saw me again on R&B Divas, it has been a journey to get to this place, back to my artistry, back to who I am, and who I've become. So I'm really, really excited. It's a whole movement for me. It's joining my creative world in the arts, which is drama, theater, and singing. So I'm really excited about it. And I'm putting it out, and everybody who is for it and who's gonna love it is gonna love it, and there's gonna be a piece of me out there. That's all.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Now we've been on some serious topics. We talked about obviously the tragedy that happened today with Kobe Bryant and his daughter. Just again, rest in peace, Kobe. and his daughter, Gianna.
Mamba. They call her Miss Mamba, right?
Yeah, the Blair. Yes, right. Yeah, she was next in line.
She played ball,
She
right?
was next. She was the next up, man. I saw some video of her on Instagram, and I mean, she was crossing them up, and you could see like she got that grit and that toughness like Kobe. Like, man, it's just because I played ball myself.
Gave it all to her.
Yeah, exactly.
She got it.
No question about it, man. So again, my heart goes out to the entire family, to their family, to the Laker family, the Laker organization, the NBA fans all over the world, and just humanity. You know what I'm saying? But let's take it on a little lighter note before we bounce up out of here, okay? So we got a little something we gonna call this or that, okay? Now, you know, we always hear about the GOAT and who's the greatest and who's the best and this and that and the other. So, but what we're gonna do, this is your favorite. So when I ask you these two, you pick which one that you like, not necessarily the greatest or the best, but who's your favorite or what's your favorite. So I figured we start off with something very, very light, like Chick-fil-A or Popeyes. Which one for you?
You said Chick-fil-A or Popeyes?
Which one for Monifah? Popeye. Oh,
okay.
J-Bo.
Okay.
She said Popeye.
Okay.
Listen, I had the Popeye sandwich the other day. It sent me straight to the bathroom. Straight to the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm not eating that sandwich though.
No,
like, I don't do Popeyes a lot anymore because you know I got to try to be here. But I'm
with you.
But also, I don't like the politics at Chick-fil-A. So I can't give them my money. If I eat Chick-fil-A, I make other people buy it.
Right.
Because it's good though. I'll be mad, it's good. But it's not better than Popeyes to me.
All right, got you. All right, Martin or Good Times?
I have to say Martin.
Okay.
For me,
okay.
Martin.
Well, you got Martin over Good Times.
Okay.
Jay.
Okay. I'm talking Good Times.
You talking Good Times? Jay say you got Good Times.
Yeah.
I've been what?
I love Good Times now. I mean, for me, I think because it's a part of.
Yeah, definitely. I think this answer, and it's crazy because you mentioned, we talked about Purple Rain and you doing your version of Purple Rain, and I actually had this written down beforehand, but I think I know the answer to it. Michael or Prince?
First of all, I don't gotta answer that question. I'm not answering that question. But for me, if I had to choose, I wouldn't.
Okay, I respect that. Yeah, that is a tough one. That, you know, back in the day, that was always it was Michael or Prince. You know.
Yeah.
And me.
They were two completely different artists.
True indeed.
And not in the way of they were different. I don't even know why it was the thing. I don't even understand why. Mm-hmm. They have a whole. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Like, do you understand why there was a rival? Well, it wasn't a rivalry with them.
Right.
Allegedly.
Right. I think
it's a healthy competition. I think it was.
Yeah. And I think it's almost similar to the comparison of Pac and Big. Like, they were two totally different artists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were just, what they had in common and what Mike and Prince had in common. A lot of people loved them.
Yeah.
Like, they had die-hard fans.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them the same. That's all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really compare them. It's apples and oranges. Mm-hmm. And they both good.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I like apples. I mean, I don't really like apples, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
we get the cliche. Yeah.
Got one more for me?
Yeah, one more. Actually, two more.
Okay, cool. I like this.
Yeah. One on the hip hop side. Jay-Z or Nas?
You said Jay-Z or Nas?
Yeah. See, you from New York, so that I'm sure you.
Yeah, you playing me, man. Like, yo, one of them might hear this. Yo,
they good now. They buried the hatchet.
They
buried the hatchet. They good now, so
It takes. I don't care. I'm not scared though.
Go ahead.
Oh my God! I would have to say Nas.
Nas, come on, Nas. You can hear me whispering, "Come on, Nas." That's my favorite. That's my favorite rapper. So I'm like, "Come on, say Nas." And I love Jay. Don't get me wrong.
I love Jay.
And it's because you know why. Now let me tell you something. Jay's a bad mofo.
No
doubt. Let's be clear. but also they're different. And what I appreciated about Nas is that even he's a culture. He's smart with his, he's smart. He's always, I don't know. It was real, it was guttural. He felt like the lyrically, like the Malcolm X.
It was more
hip hop. You know
conscious.
what I'm saying? Lyrically, where his mind was how he thought, and I think he couldn't help it because of his upbringing and was what I'm saying? Like he's way more poetic. He's a poet.
Absolutely, and I feel like that's what's missing in hip hop nowadays. Okay, it's cool to have your party music, but we need some of that conscious hip hop too.
His when he performs the Kennedy Center with the orchestra?
I did.
Definitely. Yeah, no question.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I was in my house in tears, like, this is wrong. Like, I was so happy. I felt like I gave birth to him. Like, it was crazy.
Right.
I was just like, are you kidding me?
Right.
That was no joke. That was no joke.
That's the artistry that you talked about, who spoke of earlier. That's the artistry of it.
Exactly. And you cannot deny that.
Mm-hmm.
You see how that translated?
Yeah.
How his music and they'll try to make you think that hip hop is just some. Did y'all see Puffy's? Wait a minute. Did y'all see Puffy's speech though?
Nah.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, I need y'all to, when y'all get off the air with me, y'all need to immediately go to YouTube.
Okay.
Or find it somewhere, or I can share it with you on Instagram and just send it to you.
All right.
Yo, it's about to go down.
What?
Because I felt it coming. I know what they doing something. Something is bubbling because they getting these federations and stuff together. You know what I'm saying? The brand, these what you call those things? See, this is where stuff kick in. These
48 kicking in.
These not staples, but these things that have been going on for years, and judge, who's good or not, or what's good or not, or what's good enough to be judged and nominated, and you know what I'm saying, like the Grammys and all that other stuff. Which I think we should start our own real, for real joint. I'd rather watch our stuff anyway. But
we gotta stop trying to get their approval
by people that don't want to see us win, or can even, or are jealous of what we're capable of.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we're always looking.
We're
always looking for their approval. Why?
Why?
You know what I'm saying?
Why?
Like, when we are the approval.
That's right.
Come on,
we set the culture.
We don't get it yet.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. Indeed.
Your kids are dancing. You gotta. Oh my gosh! I'm like, now I'm quoting Puff. No, yo, he went OFF and got them right together, night, and gave them a schedule. He said, y'all got 365 days. I was done. I need y'all to go find that speech, because he accepted an award at one of the brunches in at the Grammy. It's a Grammy weekend.
Yeah, the Rock Nation brunch, I think it was.
He got honored. He got an award. So pull up his speech. Please.
Okay, yeah.
And Doc, I need you to hit me back after you watch. You gonna be that hype.
All right, definitely. Well, Monifah, we appreciate you for coming on and dropping jewels with us and just sharing a little bit of you, and I'm sure the listeners really got a lot from what they didn't know about Monifah. They know now, and just you blessed a lot of people with your the way we first came on, and how your humanity and the human side, where a lot of people don't get to hear that side of the artist, and in regards to what happened to Kobe and just everything else, and it was just incredible. And again, we appreciate you.
Yeah, it's our humanity.
Yeah,
that's what we got in common.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
we can't escape nothing that involves humanity.
Yeah,
and being a human being. So yeah, thank you so much for giving me for inviting me on this platform, and much love and success to you guys. And we need you guys. We need y'all spreading the word and spreading the love on the music. And thank you for the support, and to everybody that's listening and has supported me, helped me feed my family, helped me live my dreams and have some incredible moments. Thank you. I appreciate and love you. Thank you.
We love you too, Mo. And you got an open door here. You family here. So you got an open door anytime you ready to drop anything new, you want to debut it or whatever, you family.
Yeah, y'all gonna play my stuff. Y'all gonna be one of the first people that gonna play it.
That's right. We're gonna play it.
You know, yeah, I would love to share it with you guys. Come on again, and we just do a little. We'll figure it out, but we'll do like a little quick listening joint real fast. I think that would be fun.
Yeah,
let's do it.
That would be real dope. Yep. Miss Monifah.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. God bless you.
Thank you, Mo. We
God
love
bless
you.
Guys. Bye.
All right. It's Yours Radio Live 97.5, Everything Urban Breakfast Club in the morning. Brian Banks tonight, Donni-Oh, J-Mo, the Party King, DJ Cheese.